Okay, so I figured I'd do a quick video just talking about some of my observations in Silent Hill F. I've been playing for just under 4 hours now, and I'm a good way into the early parts of the game, and it's been quite interesting actually. So yeah, let's just show you the graphics I'm using first. I'm on a 4K 240Hz OLED, and it does say 24Hz there, but I think that's a typo because there's no way I'm running at 24Hz. It would have been very obvious. I'm not using frame rate limiter in game because I'm using it in RTSS, which is RivaTuner statistics server. I'm not using in-game VSync. I'm not an ultra wide, so Panini is not being used. Custom settings because I've got motion blur off, but otherwise everything else is on the maximum available settings. So whether that's Lumen Epic or very high, it's just all on max. Upscalers, you do have TSR, FSR, and DLSS, and FSR is FSR 3.1, not FSR 4. But I believe you can inject in FSR 4 if you have an AMD card and you want to make use of it. So that's available as an option. But I'm using DLSS. Now the game does ship with DLSS 3.7 out of the box, and that uses preset E. So you do want to use something like DLSS Swapper or whatever your chosen method is to update the DLSS preset, to use preset K, and maybe update the DLSS DLL file to version 3.10 as well, because 3.7 is quite old now, so you kind of want to be on the newer versions which default to preset K anyway. So I did that with DLSS Swapper. It's just 2 clicks of a mouse, works really well. And I just wanted to show what those settings were. So yeah, we've got that out of the way. There's not really much else to change other than controls. I am using a controller, I'm using DualSense. It doesn't support adaptive triggers, but it does support the advanced haptics, which I quite like. So I'm playing the game with a DualSense Hex Gaming Phantom controller, and I've left the sensitivity to 1, whereas if I'm playing it with a mouse, I did have to increase the sensitivity for the camera to 1.7, but that's all I changed really, nothing else I've changed. So we just go back to the game, and I wanted to highlight a couple of things. So if I load up my RTSS benchmark, you can see what the average and 1% lows and things are. I have got it locked to 75 FPS just because third-person games, I tend to lock those to a certain FPS, especially if I'm playing with a controller. You don't really need a game like this running at 150 FPS or 100 FPS or above, but my typical frame rate lock is around about 100, but I found that this game works really well with 75. Frame times are really smooth, really flat, and it just works. I am playing my first playthrough on story mode, so if I just go to save progress, you can see story mode for puzzles and story mode for action. And that works fine for me on the first playthrough, because I have seen a few reviews where they've shown New Game Plus has additional areas of the game to explore, and you've got new items and things as well. So I just want to run the first part of my first playthrough of the game in story mode, and then play on the harder difficulty in New Game Plus. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So what I've already determined is, at least in my install of the game, I'm not seeing traversal stutters. I am seeing some shader compilation hitching. You won't see them now because I've already been through all of this area, but you can see that it's very minimal and it's very, very flat and very performant, which is very good. So I'm just going to continue on towards Rinku's house at the moment, which is current mission objective. But you can see the map is fairly big actually, and fairly dense, and more of the map opens up as you venture out of these blank areas. So similar kind of thing to The Witcher and other games which have a wide map that opens up as you reach those areas. So you just saw a hitch there. If I turn around and repeat that step, it won't happen again. So that confirms it was shader compilation hitching. Now my hitching isn't as large as what Alex was showing in Digital Foundry's tech review on those lower end CPUs. Now I've got a 12700KF, so it's a few years old obviously, but it's not really a low end CPU, so it does manage those hitches quite well, I find. And it's a little distracting, but it's not really jarring. It doesn't stop for like a whole second or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? Just go down here, see if there's anything to explore. Sometimes there's items and things in boxes, like there. Got a bandage, which is fine. See what's over here. Fully expecting a jump scare as well. Okay, so that might be interesting. It's always worth exploring, because you never know what you might find. But no doubt at some point here, something will jump out. But you can see the frame times, it's really smooth, really nice. Performance in general, the movement quality, everything is fairly good actually. The only thing I've got a gripe with in terms of movement is if I'm running and I come to a stop, it's just fairly abrupt. So she just stops abruptly, and when you're moving around, I mean, that kind of, in some ways it just feels like, I don't know, floating on ice, if that makes sense. But I mean, it's fine, it can be ignored largely. Cutscenes are obviously in 30 FPS, which is slightly annoying. I'm going to skip this because there's no need to sit through the whole thing and spoil it for everyone, but yeah. So the journal is the up on the D-pad. Down on the D-pad shows you your inventory. Left and right cycles your weapons. And if you want to see what the state of the weapons are, you've got to go to Start and then Equipment. And then it gives you a durability rating for your weapons. You can only carry 3 at the moment. I don't know if you get more slots as time goes on. R1 and L1 cycle through your items and things. I have got an additional item there. Decreases enemy sight, which is what's active at the moment. So I haven't really activated those, which is fine. And then you can see your active items, which are then slotted into your slots. And the way the inventory works is quite intuitive. I quite like that. It's holding R1, or L1, sorry, and then pressing square, triangle, circle, X to correspond with what you want to enable. So if I wanted to take a pill right now, just press triangle. And then if I wanted to see what my secondary layer is with additional items, it's just pressing R1 to cycle back and forth between those. So quite cool. I quite like that. It's really quick and effective to use. So I just need to see where I need to go. Okay, so there's no map. Great. Got some capsules. I can use the sickle here. Yep. So Hanako does update her journal every time you encounter something new. So it's nice just to read those from time to time. Puzzles, various notes along the way, and so on. So I think I need to escape. I'm going to turn off the benchmark for RTSS because we don't need that anymore. And if I turn off the frame rate cap, I've got a shortcut there for that. You can see what we're getting when the frame rate cap is off. This is with DLSS quality, so we're getting more or less 100 FPS. If I go down to DLSS performance, we now get over 100 FPS, and it's fairly decent actually. As a DLSS 4 with preset K, there is some minor instability with performance in this game. In other games not so, it's more like quality, but because the performance is so good with DLSS quality in this, I just tend to use DLSS quality and benefit from the improvement in image quality and stability as well. So I think this one is going to wake up because it's got a sickle in there. No, not that one. Yeah, not sketchy at all. She's pointing that way, so I guess we need to go that way. Small hitch there, but nothing major. Overall, generally excellent performance, at least for me anyway. So still no map, but I need to be going, I can see a sickle there and there. Yep, so I need to be going this way. Okay. So I'm guessing it's one of these. Okay, so it's all about dodging and parrying. Let's see which one we need to kill now. Just check if I had the right setting. Yeah, that's fine. So in this area with all the fog, my GPU is at 96%, which is fairly high, but I have got my frame rate cap off as well. So if I re-enable frame rate cap to 75, we're going to go down to about 70% utilization on the 4090, which is much better. Let's just see what we've got here. Nothing. There is something to take out there. I'm guessing I need to take out all of these things from each one that has one. Gotta fight this one now. Just gonna take a screenshot. But yeah, I need to be going in this direction. And then look out for more sickles glisten in the fog. Another hitch there, so that was obviously shader, because it's not happening as I go back. So traversal stutters happen every time you pass a boundary line. Shader stutters only happen once, because once you've passed it, it's already pre-compiled, that shader, and it's already in the cache. Okay, but I think that gives you a good idea of what the performance is like, and general gameplay, combat, and visually as well, and in terms of settings being used. I think it's very good. I really like Silent Hill 2 Remake. They did a great job with that eventually after months of patching. But this looks like it's going to be more or less similar to that in experience. The audio is excellent. The characters seem interesting so far. Still early days, so I don't know what the characters or the remaining characters are going to be like. But the main character is good. You do have, I did pre-order it, so I've got a bunny outfit and all that kind of stuff as well, which is fine. But yeah, so far so good. And I don't have some of the performance issues other people have reported, like traversal stutter and so on. So for me, it's been a good experience. I think I can recommend it, but obviously it depends on your system. If your PC system isn't really up to scratch, then you might have a worse off experience. Although I have seen some people with 5090s having technical issues with garbled graphics and red sort of artifacts and things like that as well. So yeah, it's going to depend on individual experiences and individual hardware spec as well. But yeah, if you like this one, leave a like and a comment below, and I'll do more gaming stuff as time goes on. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.